What if the biggest distraction in your life isn't your phone, your job, or the noise around you, but the noise around you, but the noise inside you? Stay with me until the end, because the final lessons will truly change how you see focus, success, and your life before you try to control your time, your habits, or your distractions. You have to understand this truth. Most people don't struggle with focus because they are lazy or undisciplined. They struggle because they are unclear. When your vision is blurred, your energy scatters. When your purpose is undefined, every opportunity looks urgent, every opinion sounds important, and every distraction feels justified. And slowly, without even realizing it, you start living a life that is busy on the outside but empty on the inside. I remember a phase in my life when everything looked successful from the outside. Projects, travel, recognition, constant movement. But inside, there was a quiet question that wouldn't leave me. Why does this still feel unfocused? The answer was simple but uncomfortable. I wasn't lacking effort. I was lacking alignment. I was moving fast, but I wasn't moving intentionally. And that is the silent trap so many of us fall into. We fill our calendars, but forget to fill our direction. We chase opportunities before asking if they belong to our story. We say yes because we are afraid to miss out, not because it truly matters to us. And the result? Our attention becomes fragmented, like sunlight scattered through clouds instead of concentrated into a beam, powerful enough to create change. Focus begins the moment you decide what actually deserves your life. Not what looks impressive, not what others expect, not what social media celebrates, but what feels deeply, quietly true to you. Think of your mind like a garden. If you don't choose what you want to grow, weeds will grow by default. Notifications, comparisons, other people's dreams, endless information, they will fill the space where your purpose should live. Clarity is the act of planting intentionally. It's asking yourself the questions most people avoid. What kind of life am I really building? What matters enough for me to give my time, my energy, my attention? What do I want my days to stand for? Because here is something powerful. Your life is nothing but your attention, repeated over time. Whatever you focus on consistently becomes your reality. If you focus on fear, your world shrinks. If you focus on comparison, your confidence weakens. If you focus on purpose, your life expands. But purpose doesn't shout, it whispers. And in a world full of noise, that whisper gets lost unless you pause long enough to hear it. Many people keep themselves distracted because clarity requires courage. The moment you become clear about what truly matters, you also have to accept what doesn't. You have to say no. You have to let go. You have to stop living for approval and start living with intention. And that's uncomfortable because clarity simplifies your life and simplicity removes your excuses. When you know your priority, you can't pretend everything else is equally important anymore. That's why so many people say they want focus, but what they actually avoid is the responsibility that clarity brings. Let me give you a simple example. Imagine you're standing in a room with 10 doors open. Each one leads to a different opportunity, a different path, a different version of success. At first, it feels exciting. Endless possibilities. But after a while, something changes. You keep walking halfway into one room, then stepping back to check another. You start something, then abandon it. You invest energy, then second guess yourself. And eventually, you are exhausted, not because you walked too far, but because you never committed to one direction. That is what a lack of clarity feels like. Now imagine closing 9 of those doors. Suddenly your path is obvious. Your energy has direction. Your focus becomes natural, not forced. Clarity doesn't limit your life. It liberates your energy. And here's the spiritual truth behind it. Attention is devotion. Whatever you give your attention to, you are worshipping with your time, your life force, your presence. So ask yourself honestly, what are you devoted to right now? Distraction, approval, comfort, or growth, purpose, and meaning? Because focus is not something you build through willpower alone. It grows automatically when your heart knows why something matters. When your purpose is clear, discipline becomes easier. When your direction is meaningful, distractions lose their attraction. When your work feels connected to something bigger than your ego, your mind stops wandering so easily. This is why some people can work for hours with deep concentration while others struggle to stay focused for minutes. It's not about intelligence. It's about emotional connection to what they're doing. Your mind protects what it believes is meaningful. So if you find yourself constantly distracted, don't just ask, how do I focus more? Ask a deeper question. Does this matter enough to me? And if not, what actually does? This is where your inner work begins. Not with productivity apps or strict schedules, but with self-awareness. Spend time writing, reflecting, sitting in silence, asking yourself uncomfortable but honest questions. What kind of work makes me lose track of time? What kind of impact feels meaningful to me? What values do I want my life to represent? What kind of person do I want to become in the next 5 years? Because clarity is not found in the noise of the world. It's discovered in the quiet conversations you have with yourself. And once you find even a small sense of direction, something powerful happens. Your energy stops leaking. Your decisions become faster. Your priorities become obvious. Your confidence grows. Not because you know everything, but because you know where you're going. And when you know where you're going, distractions feel smaller. But I want you to stay with me because the lessons ahead are even more powerful. And if this truth about clarity is already opening something inside you, what comes next will change the way you understand your energy, your attention, and your entire relationship with distraction. Don't skip ahead. Don't leave early. Because what we're building here is not just focus. We're building a way of living with intention. And you'll regret missing the deeper truths that are coming. But before we move forward, I want you to carry this with you. Clarity is not a one-time decision. It's a daily practice. Your priorities will evolve. Your goals will change. Your life will grow. But the habit of returning to yourself, of asking what truly matters, of choosing your direction consciously, that habit is what protects your focus in a world designed to steal it. Every morning, you get to choose your attention. Every day, you decide what deserves your life. And every time you choose clarity over chaos, intention over impulse, purpose over distraction, you take your power back. Because the truth is, the world is not going to become less distracting. The noise isn't going away. The expectations won't slow down. The comparisons will always exist. But when your vision becomes clear, the noise stops controlling you. You hear it, but you're no longer pulled by it. You see opportunities, but you're no longer tempted by all of them. You stay grounded, steady, focused, not because the world is quiet, but because your direction is loud. And that is where real focus begins. Not in controlling your environment, but in knowing your purpose so deeply that your energy naturally flows toward it. And trust me, what comes next will show you how to protect that energy. Because clarity is only the first step, and the next lesson will reveal the powerful truth about where your attention goes and how it quietly shapes the life you're creating. Stay with me. The final lessons are where the real transformation begins. If clarity is the compass of your life, then attention is the fuel that moves you forward. Because here is a truth. Most people underestimate your energy follows your attention. Quietly, faithfully, and without judgment. Whatever you give your focus to, Your thoughts, your worries, your comparisons, your goals, your fears, your dreams grow stronger inside you. Attention is not just mental focus. It is life force. It is the invisible currency you are spending every moment of every day. And the question is not whether you are spending it, the question is where. Think about your day from the moment you wake up. Before your feet even touch the ground, your mind may already be scrolling. Messages, news, social media, other people's lives, other people's opinions. And without realizing it, you have already invested your first emotional energy into comparison, urgency, noise, and reaction. By the time you start your actual work, your attention is already fragmented, your mind already tired, your emotional state already influenced by things that have nothing to do with your purpose. And then you wonder why it feels hard to concentrate, why your motivation feels low, why your energy disappears so quickly. The truth is simple but powerful. Distraction is not just stealing your time, it is draining your emotional energy. Imagine your attention as sunlight. When sunlight is scattered, it warms gently but creates no impact. But when that same light is focused through a lens, it becomes powerful enough to create fire. Your life works the same way. Scattered attention creates exhaustion. Focused attention creates transformation. I learned this lesson during a phase when I felt constantly busy but strangely unproductive. I was responding to messages immediately, checking updates, reacting to every opportunity, every piece of feedback, every external signal. My day was full, my schedule was packed, but at the end of it, I felt like my real priorities hadn't moved at all. And then it hit me. I wasn't managing my time poorly. I was managing my attention carelessly. I was allowing the world to decide what deserved my energy. And when you don't choose where your attention goes, the world will choose for you. And the world's priorities are rarely aligned with your purpose. Social media wants your attention. News wants your attention. Other people's expectations want your attention. Even your own fears want your attention. But your dreams, your growth, your long-term vision, those things require intentional attention. They don't fight for it. They wait for you to choose them. This is why two people can have the same amount of time, but completely different results. One person spends hours reacting, checking, scrolling, worrying, comparing, overthinking. The other spends those same hours creating, learning, building, growing. The difference is not time. The difference is attention. And here is the deeper spiritual truth. Whatever you repeatedly focus on becomes your emotional reality. If you constantly focus on what you lack, you will feel inadequate, even if your life is full. If you focus on what others are doing, you will feel behind, even if you're making progress. If you focus on problems, your mind will see obstacles everywhere. But if you focus on growth, your mind begins to see opportunities. If you focus on gratitude, your heart feels abundance. If you focus on purpose, your energy becomes steady and directed. Your attention shapes your perception, and your perception shapes your perception. And your perception shapes your life. But most people don't realize how small everyday attention leaks slowly drain their power. It's the habit of checking your phone every few minutes. It's replaying someone's criticism in your mind for hours. It's comparing your progress to someone else's highlight reel. It's worrying about outcomes that haven't even happened yet. Each of these moments feels small, harmless, temporary. But attention is cumulative. Every small distraction pulls a little energy away from your focus, your creativity, your emotional stability, and by the end of the day, you're not just tired, you're empty. That's why protecting your attention is not a productivity strategy. It's an act of self-respect. You have to start asking yourself a powerful daily question. Is this worthy of my energy? Not everything that demands your attention deserves it. Not every notification is urgent. Not every opinion matters. Not every opportunity is aligned. Not every thought is useful. Your mind is a space you must guard, because attention is like one attar. It nourishes whatever it touches. If you water fear, fear grows. If you water doubt, doubt grows. If you water distraction, distraction becomes your default state. But if you water discipline, clarity, learning, and purpose, your life begins to expand in those directions. One of the most transformative habits you can build is intentional attention. Choosing consciously what you allow into your mental space. Starting your day with your priorities before the world's demands. Giving uninterrupted time to what matters most. Training your mind to return again and again to your focus whenever it wanders, and it will wanders. That's human. Focus is not about never getting distracted. It's about noticing quickly and gently, bringing your attention back again and again and again. Every time you do that, you strengthen your mental muscle. Every time you choose your purpose over distraction, you reclaim a piece of your power, and over time, something remarkable happens. Your mind becomes calmer, your work becomes deeper, your confidence grows, because you begin to trust your ability to direct your own energy instead of reacting to everything around you. But stay with me, because if this lesson is already shifting the way you see your attention, the lessons ahead are even more powerful. And you'll regret missing the final ones, where we uncover the emotional and spiritual roots of distraction that most people never understand. Because here's the truth. Managing your attention externally is only the beginning. The deeper transformation happens when you understand why your mind seeks distraction in the first place. But before we go there, I want you to remember this. Your life is not built by your intentions. It is built by your attention. What you think about repeatedly becomes what you feel. What you feel repeatedly shapes what you do. And what you do repeatedly becomes who you become. So if you want a focused life, don't just organize your schedule. Organize your attention. Choose what you read. Choose what you watch. Choose what conversations you engage in. Choose what thoughts you entertain. Because every choice is a vote for the person you are becoming. And the world will keep trying to pull your attention in 1,000 directions. That will never stop. But when you become intentional about where your energy flows, something powerful happens. Distractions don't disappear, but they lose their control over you. Your mind becomes anchored. Your energy becomes protected. Your progress becomes steady. And this is only the second step of the journey. What comes next goes deeper than habits or productivity. It reveals the emotional truth behind why we escape into distraction at all. Stay until the final points, because this is where real transformation begins. And once you understand the deeper layers, you won't just manage your attention, you'll master your inner world. If you've ever told yourself, I just need to stay off my phone, or I need more discipline to avoid distractions, I want you to pause for a moment and consider a deeper truth. Distraction is rarely a technology problem. It is an emotional one. Most of the time, we are not escaping into our screens, our notifications, or endless scrolling because they are interesting. We escape because they are easier than what we're feeling. Distraction is comfort. It is avoidance dressed as entertainment. It is the mind's way of protecting you from discomfort, uncertainty, self-doubt, or the quiet fear that whispers, what if I'm not good enough? Think about the moments where, and you find it hardest to focus. It's usually not when the task is simple or familiar. It's when you're about to start something important, when the work matters, when the outcome feels uncertain, when your effort will reveal your true level, your real progress, your actual potential. That is when your mind suddenly remembers messages to check, videos to watch, emails to refresh, rooms to clean, anything to do except the one thing that could move your life forward. Because focus requires exposure, and exposure requires courage. When you sit down to work on your dream, you are not just facing a task, you are facing your fear of failure, your fear of judgment, your fear of discovering your limits. And the mind, by nature, seeks safety, so it offers you a way out. Just 5 minutes on your phone, just one quick check, just a short break. Times, before you know it, the moment of courage has passed. This is why willpower alone really works. You can block apps, turn off notifications, create strict schedules, but if the emotional resistance is still there, your mind will find another escape. Because the real battle is not between you and your phone. It is between you and your discomfort. I remember times in my own journey when I delayed decisions, postponed projects, or kept myself busy with smaller tasks, not because I didn't care, but because I cared so much that the possibility of failing felt overwhelming. Success looks glamorous from the outside, but the path toward it is filled with uncomfortable moments, rejection, uncertainty, self-doubt, silence, waiting, trying again when nothing seems to work, and distraction becomes a temporary shelter from those emotions. But here is the truth that changed everything for me. Growth lives inside the discomfort you're avoiding. Every time you escape from the hard thing, you don't just lose time, you lose momentum, confidence, and trust in yourself. But every time you stay, even when it feels uncomfortable, even when your mind wants to run, you strengthen something powerful inside you. You build emotional endurance. You teach yourself that discomfort is not danger. You train your mind to stay instead of escape. Think of it like a muscle. The first time you sit with uncertainty, it feels heavy. Your mind wanders. Your body feels restless. You want relief, but if you breathe, return to the task, and stay a little longer than last time, something shifts. The discomfort doesn't disappear immediately, but your tolerance for it grows. And over time, what once felt overwhelming becomes normal. This is the hidden skill behind focus. The ability to sit with temporary discomfort for the sake of long-term growth. And the discomfort comes in many forms. Sometimes it's boredom. Sometimes it's confusion, because you don't know the next step. Sometimes it's the slow progress that makes you question whether your effort is working. Sometimes it's the silence that comes when no one is praising you, noticing you, or validating your journey. In a world that rewards instant results and constant stimulation, the quiet, slow, uncertain path of real growth feels almost unnatural. So the mind looks for stimulation, for quick dopamine, for something that feels good immediately. But here is the spiritual perspective I want you to hold on to. Distraction is not the enemy, it is a signal. It is your mind telling you, this feels uncomfortable, this feels uncertain, this feels risky. Instead of fighting the distraction with frustration, pause and ask yourself a deeper question. What am I trying not to feel right now? But it's fear. Maybe it's fear. Maybe it's self-doubt. Maybe it's the pressure of your own expectations. Maybe it's the weight of how much this goal means to you. When you become aware of the emotion behind the distraction, something powerful happens. You stop seeing yourself as weak or undisciplined. You start seeing yourself as human. And from that place of awareness, you can respond with compassion instead of avoidance. Take a breath. Acknowledge the discomfort. Remind yourself, this feeling is part of the process. This is what growth feels like. Then return to your focus, gently, without self-criticism, because the goal is not to eliminate the discomfort. The goal is to build a relationship with it. The most focused people in the world are not the ones who never feel resistance. They are the ones who feel it, and continue anyway. They understand that discomfort is temporary, but the progress it creates is permanent. And here's something most people don't realize. The more meaningful your goal is, the more emotional resistance you will feel. Because meaningful work matters, and when something matters, your fears become louder. That's why distraction often increases right before a breakthrough, right before a big step, right before real progress. Your mind senses change, and change feels unsafe. So if you have been feeling more distracted lately,